Can you imagine? A 16-year-old boy standing on a street in his hometown on his side of the border, being killed by bullets fired from another country, Nogales, a city split in half by the U.S.-Mexico border. The 10th of October, 2012. The night was heavy, the streetlights flickered weakly, and silence hung in the narrow alleys. 16-year-old José Antonio Elena Rodríguez stepped out of his house, slim, quiet, still wearing his school clothes. He was just heading out to meet a friend. He didn't know. He was walking straight into a tragedy that would echo across nations. On the U.S. side of the border wall, Border Patrol agents were chasing suspected smugglers. Footsteps pounded. Radios crackled. Tension climbed. And then, Agent Lonnie Swartz pulled out his gun. Through the steel fence, through the shadows of the Mexican streets, he raised his weapon. Bang. 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 Gunfire shattered the silence. Not one shot. Not 5. 16 bullets fired in rapid succession, spraying blindly through the wall into the streets of Mexico. And then, silence. José fell instantly. 10 bullets tore into his body, into his back, into his head. He never had a chance to run, never had a chance to scream. One moment, he was just a teenager. The next, he was a lifeless body, sprawled on the pavement, blood pooling beneath him. People rushed out of their homes, horrified. Shouts, screams, disbelief. A child was shot. A child was killed. José had no weapon. He wasn't throwing rocks. He wasn't a threat. He was just in the wrong place, on the wrong side of the border wall. By morning, the news had spread. Mexico erupted in outrage. Candles were lit. Photos of José were lifted high in protest marches. The streets of Nogales echoed with cries of "Justicia," justice for José. But on the U.S. side, silence. Officials defended the shooting. They claimed the officer was under threat from rock throwers. But José wasn't throwing anything. He wasn't part of it at all. He was simply there. And yet, his life was erased by bullets, fired from across the border. Years later, the case went to trial. 2018. The courtroom was tense, every breath heavy. There sat Agent Lonnie Swartz, pale under the harsh lights, facing charges of second-degree murder. Behind him, in the gallery, José's family sat silently, faces hollow, eyes swollen from years of grief, holding on to a thin thread of hope. The prosecution laid it bare. José was unarmed. José was not throwing rocks. He was shot 10 times in the back and in the head. This was not defense. This was murder. The defense countered. Officer Swartz feared for his life. Rocks can be deadly. He acted to protect himself and his fellow agents. 2 stories, 2 versions of the truth. The jury had to decide. Weeks of testimony, weeks of waiting. And then the verdict. Not guilty. Swartz was acquitted. 16 shots fired across the border. No crime committed. He walked out of the courtroom, a free man. Shock, outrage, anger. Across Mexico, across human rights groups, in the U.S. One question burned. What is the value of a life? If the law says it means nothing when it belongs to someone on the other side of the border. Today, the wall in Nogales still bears José's name. In graffiti, José Antonio, nunca olvidado, never forgotten. Flowers and candles still appear at the spot where he fell. His death has become a symbol of injustice, a haunting reminder that a border wall doesn't just divide land, it divides whose lives are protected and whose can be taken without consequence. And so the question lingers heavier than the steel fence itself. If a child can be shot dead across a border, will justice ever cross it?